Hey beauties, Sarah here from Sunkissed the Collective. Today I just wanted to have a chat with you about how to buy fashion online. For me this is actually really easy as I love online fashion, but I know there's a lot of people out there that might find buying fashion is hard or a little bit tricky, especially when you can't touch and feel and see the garment. But some of the tips that I've kind of picked up along the way, I've basically got 6 top tips that I use when I'm trying to, decide whether or not I think a particular style is going to suit me. So the first one is know your body measurements. So basically what I mean by this is getting to know your bust, hip and waist measurements and how to measure them. You can use people like a alterations company to do it for you, but I reckon with a good tape measure you can pretty much do that from home. I've actually created another video on exactly how to take your bust, hip and waist measurements. If you don't know, another option is also to try and talk to people via the live chat. I know with us, if someone is unsure and doesn't know their body measurements, often what we'll do is we'll ask them what other brands they're wearing at the moment to get a bit of a gauge for, how that particular brand that they're interested in is going to fit them and what size they might be. So the second tip for buying fashion online is know what style suits you and your body shape. So if you haven't been to a stylist before and had someone assess your body shape, that's completely fine, but surely you've probably got a pretty good understanding based on what's currently in your wardrobe as to what's working for you. So for example, if you really love wrap dresses, then obviously buying another wrap dress online is probably a pretty easy thing to do. And just as a side note too, wrap dresses actually suit pretty much most body shapes. The third thing to do when buying fashion online is to get to know the fabric contents of your wardrobe. So basically what I mean by this here is essentially that, if you really love silks, then, make sure that when you are buying online, you're buying other silk products, or if a lot of the fabric contents in your wardrobes are rayons or cottons and things like that, then maybe, you also want to look at buying another rayon dress online, for example. So just to put this into context for myself, I don't really like polyester and I try to avoid wearing it where I can. So often when I'm looking at things online, I'll make sure that there's like a lot of cotton or linen, or it's a soft viscose or something like that. The fourth tip that I have when buying fashion online would be to check the color of the garment on both your computer and your mobile device, because I find that sometimes mobile devices can actually, especially if it's a white garment with some basic patterning on it, it can actually throw out the patterning that's in the garment. So if you're really concerned about color before it arrives, I just check it across as many devices as possible. But that's probably the hardest thing with shopping online, is just knowing exactly what the color is going to be like in person. The fifth tip that I have when it comes to buying fashion online is get to know your height and how that differs to the model. So basically what I mean by this here is essentially, if you know that you're, say, 155 centimeters and you can see that a model is 175 centimeters and they're wearing a size 8, then you essentially know that it's probably going to be about 20 centimeters longer on you, for example. And traditionally, garments are normally graded about 2.5 centimeters from each time. So for example, a size 8 would be probably 2.5 centimeters shorter than a size 10. So you can also kind of get a gauge that even if you are not a size 8, that the size 10 is going to maybe be about 22.5 centimeters longer. So therefore, obviously, if you're quite short like me, you're probably going to need to take it up. So that just comes down to having a good alterations place. I've actually had quite a few that I've used here on the Gold Coast, so that if you are looking for any recommendations, then just drop me a note to aloha@sunkissthecollective.com. And then the 6th tip when it comes to buying fashion online is just use the live chat. We get a lot of questions via our live chat and I actually really love answering them. So if you're ever unsure, especially if you're shopping with us, use the live chat. We're here to help. So that's basically my 6 tips when it comes to shopping online. If you want to find out more or get to know us a little bit better, you can check out www.sunkissthecollective.com, or you can drop us a note at aloha@sunkissthecollective.com. Bye for now.